just living in my head. And since I fell for that spell, I am living it as well. Just living in my head. And since I fell for that spell, I am living it as well.
Alright, here we go. I went ahead and cut a hole in the case here. I got the 2nd gen GPU, as you can see through the fan grill. I went ahead and put the grill on here. The side of the the actual fan, I took 4 pieces of cardboard and went around it and wrapped electrical tape around it because the center of the fan looked more ghetto than how this looks actually. And I also got I bought this shit. It's basically a Whisper. It's a cool out, it's a fan kit. It the difference is it's crazy. I'll post it right now. And the fan is basically running back here. I have the 12 volt mod done a different way, and I also have this hooked up to 12 volts. And the funny thing about this fan that pushes more air, it's actually it pulls less amperage than the stock fan. The stock fan pulls 250 milliamps. This one only pulls 160, and this one only pulls I think about 60 milliamps. And even at 160 and 60, that's only 220. So it's still 30 milliamps less than the stock fan at 5 volts. But to count, for the 12 volt mod, of course it's going to pull just a little bit more amperage. But how I have it wired to the motherboard, the Xbox Live can't even notice it. The one thing that gets people banned is when they have the 12 volt mod ran off the DVD drive, and they basically wire that 12 volt wire up there. Basically, your DVD drive spins slower than it normally would, and Xbox Live thinks that you're running a burnt game, which is why you get banned, because they can actually see that modification. But if you run it off the board like you've seen in this video, you won't have any issues. And there's my little 60 gig hard drive that I painted black. There's a lot of fingerprints on it, but when you wipe it off, it looks really good. Let me go ahead and start this motherfucker up. And here's my TV. It's a 32-inch Sylvania, but I also have it ran to, sync up with my computer also. That's pretty sweet, right? But with all the modifications I've done with that Whisper fan, it pulls just at 5 volts. It pulls 46 CFMs, where the stock fan only pulls 29. And you got to think that since I'm running it at 12 volts, if you take 46 CFMs and divide it by 5 volts, that gives you how many CFMs you're running per volt. Then you multiply that by 12, and it's about, I think it's 110.4 CFM, somewhere around there. So I'm basically, just for the heat sinks, I'm pulling about maybe around I can't even think of the math right now, but basically it's 110.4 CFMs versus 29. Plus this little thing right here. Plus also the Whisper fan It also comes with its own little blue LEDs for the back too. It's pretty sweet. This console was originally white. I went ahead and I took some high gloss paint and painted it black. I pretty much got every place you can think of. Like, everything looks pretty sweet. Like, these blue lights are sweet. I just didn't want to like paint over the stickers that says it's a Jasper. And of course this console was at one point an E74. But this thing's pretty sweet. Like, of course with this damn thing I got to use the damn controller. I hate using controllers. I had to buy a fucking battery pack the other day because this didn't come with it, and some crackhead fucking sold it to me for $5. But I'm gonna get a shell kit for this one because a dog fucking chewed it. See, fucking dogs. But yeah, other than that, like, it's pretty sweet. And if you want to know the final, basically like the final temperature that I'm running at, I checked it. Basically, a stock console, like anywhere from the Falcons to the Jaspers, run at about, I'd say, I think it's like 143 degrees. When I first got this console, this thing was cooking at 143 degrees. Then I went ahead and did a couple modifications, everything you've seen in the video, and I actually got it to drop to around, I think it was like 84 degrees. Then I put the fan in the top right here, cut a hole in, got the 2nd gen GPU, and then I just put that fan in. I haven't tested the temperature yet, but I know it's going to be frickin' cold. I have one last modification that I'm going to do to this thing, and then that'll be it. Basically, I'm going to go on to eBay and grab one of those temperature things where you can check the temperature of your onboard. It's like a little sticky pad that you put onto the motherboard itself, like right next to the like almost on the GPU, and then one like on the CPU. And then I'm going to cut a hole right here, and it's going to be an LCD right here, and it's going to show you the actual temperatures of, and it's also going to be blue too. It's going to actually show you the temperatures of the GPU and then the CPU over here, so I'll always know my console's temperature. And that's about it. This thing's pretty cool. I know I'm probably cooking maybe around like 69 degrees right now, because another guy that, well, actually I'm probably lower than that, because another guy on YouTube had the same setup, but he didn't have this. He just had the Whisper, and his console was running at 69 degrees, and I'm not even sure. It's unknown if he has the 2nd gen GPU or not. So my goal for this is to get it to run at 50 degrees or somewhere around there, 55 degrees Fahrenheit. And yeah, Fahrenheit, not Celsius, Fahrenheit. People get them all confused up, but yeah. And this is my Xbox, guys. Thanks for watching.